Once again, good morning dear students. I am back with the second video of chapter number 3, the Postmaster. Let me just give you the short summary what we have seen in video first of chapter number 3. What we saw in that there was a man who was the postmaster and he was being transferred to Ullapur from Calcutta. And he didn't like the company of the employees in the indigo factory. And there was a orphan girl, little girl. He liked his company very much, and he used to call her whenever he used to feel lonely, and that girl used to do some odd jobs for him. She used to cook food and she used to do some household chores for him. And then we saw that once he was very much unhappy and he remembered his mother and sister, and then afterwards we saw that he was thinking like as if this orphan girl means Ratan, she just reminds him about his mother and sister. And then afterwards we have seen that one day he was not feeling well, and this Ratan, she took care of him a lot, and then she nursed him nicely, and when he got well, after that she was very much happy. And this postmaster, he taught this girl to read and write. Then afterwards he started teaching him double consonant words and all that. Till that we have seen, and let us move on to the remaining part of the story where we have stopped. Relieved from her duties as nurse, as she was being relieved from that duty, means this postmaster got well now. She took up her old place outside the door. Old place outside the door in the sense that how before she used to stand in outside the door and she used to wait for the call. She started doing that work once again. She had been reading her but she no longer heard the same old call. But after that she didn't hear this voice of postmaster once again calling him like Ratan or any of the kind. Then she had been reading her lessons over and over again. Her great fear was lest here she was doing the kind of work that she used to do, reading of lessons, and there was a fear in her mind in case that when the call came, whether if it is possible when postmaster is going to call her, then she might be found wanting in the double consonant, and she may be possible that she might be lacking in a required quality of reading or learning double consonants. At last, after a week, the call came one evening. Then after when 1 week passed away, then there was a call from postmaster. With an overflowing heart, Ratan rushed into the room, and she was very much overflown, means full of emotion, and she rushed into the room. Were you calling me Dada? Once again she asked the same question. Did you call me Dada? Then the postmaster said, I am going away tomorrow, Ratan. And postmaster wanted to inform her that he is going to leave Ullapur tomorrow. When will you come back, Dada? Then the question was from Ratan's side, and she asked him that when are you going to come back? I am not coming back. Then the postmaster replied that he is not going to come back. Ratan asked no other question. Then after hearing this sentence, she didn't ask any other question. The postmaster of his own accord went on to explain on his own way. Postmaster, according to himself, he just wanted to explain why he is leaving this place, because he has already applied for the transfer and his transfer has not been has been rejected. So he has resigned the post of postmaster. He started explaining this kind of things to Ratan. The postmaster of his own accord went on to explain that his application for a transfer had been rejected, so he had resigned his post and was going home, and he was going back to Calcutta. For a long time, neither of them spoke another word. Both of them, they didn't speak anything for a few more minutes. When the postmaster had finished his supper, after finishing his supper, supper means last meal of the day, Ratan asked, "Dada, will you take me to your home?" Then there was a question from Ratan that, "Is it possible for you to take me at your home?" Then the postmaster simply laughed and he didn't answer. And he said, "What an idea, it's very good idea," said he, but he did not think it necessary to explain. And he thought that it is not that much necessary to explain to this little girl about that whether he is going to take her to his home or not, because he is not going to take her to his home. To the girl wherein lay the absurdity. Absurdity means it is very much illogical to explain on this particular topic. That whole night the postmaster's laughter haunted Ratan. Means when she just went back at her home, and the whole night the way how the postmaster laughed, that haunted Ratan. Haunted here means was just moving in her mind. That laughter was moving in her mind, and she remembered his laugh very much, because she was thinking that why did he laugh, and he didn't explain anything about that. Then, on getting up in the morning, the postmaster found his bath water ready. When the next morning, when the postmaster woke up, then he found that his bath water was ready. After the bath came a call for Ratan, and then there was a call for Ratan. Postmaster called Ratan. She entered noiselessly without making any noise. She entered the room and looked silently into her master's face for order. And she was just simply looking at the postmaster that he is going to tell me for the other work or something else. "You need not be anxious about," means he said that you don't be worried about my going away, Ratan. "I shall tell my successor to look after you." The person who is going to take my position, I'll be telling that person that he will look after you. He will look after Ratan. These words were kindly meant, no doubt. Means there is no doubt that this postmaster was very kind-hearted, and he was very much gently thinking about Ratan. But inscrutable are the ways of a girl's heart. Inscrutable means it is impossible to understand for a little girl to understand about that kindness or anything. She burst out weeping, and then she started crying and said, "No, you need not tell anybody anything at all about me." So she said that, "Please don't say anything, or don't tell any other person to look after me or any other thing. I don't want to stay on here." And she said that she doesn't want it to stay here when the postmaster is going to leave the place. The postmaster was dumbfounded. The postmaster was very much surprised after hearing this. He had never seen Ratan like this before, because this particular role or this particular image he has never seen of Ratan before. The new incumbent dully arrived, and the person who is going to take the charge of the postmaster, he arrived soon. And the postmaster prepared to depart, and now the postmaster is going to leave the place. Just before starting out, he called Ratan, and he was just leaving the place, and before leaving the place, he called out Ratan and said, "Here is something for you," because he wanted to give something to Ratan, and he just said that this is for you. Then let's see what is there. What is he going to give to Ratan? He brought out from his pocket almost the whole of his month's salary. The salary which he used to get from the government, that he just took out from his pocket, and he wanted to present it to Ratan. Ratan fell at his feet, and she just kneeled down in his feet, and she started crying, "Oh Dada, I pray you." She was begging in front of him and saying, "Please don't give me anything. I don't want anything. Don't in any way trouble about me. You just don't worry about me." And then she ran out of sight, and without a moment, and she just ran from there, and the postmaster was not able to see her. The postmaster took his belongings, the things which he brought from his native place, all those things he took with him and slowly made for the boat. And he just moved towards the boat, and now he is going to sail to his place. When the boat was underway, his heart ached for Ratan. And when the boat started sailing, and this postmaster, he started feeling very, feeling like as if he's feeling like a pain in his heart for Ratan. He kept thinking of the grief-stricken face of the village girl and the sad face which the girl made when he left that place. That face was just in his mind, and it was being haunted in his mind. Then he had the sudden impulse to go back, and he thought that he must go back to the girl and bring along with him that lonesome waif forsaken of the world. And he was thinking that he should go back and bring that girl with him, and he'll take that lonely girl. Waif means a small thin person, usually a child, and he wanted to take that take Ratan with him to his native place. But the wind had filled the sails, and already the boat had started sailing, and the boat had got well into the middle of the current. In between the current, the boat had started sailing, and already the village was left behind, and the village was left too far from the place where the boat was. So he consoled himself. Consoled means to try to make somebody feel less worried. He just consoled himself, and he made himself feel like he should not be that much worried about himself with worried about Ratan, and he consoled himself with philosophical reflections on the numberless meetings and partings going on in the world. Means here, this is a particular chapter, that is we meet someone and we just get part from someone. Meeting and parting is the part of life, and he consoled himself with this kind of thinking. On death, maybe if someone dies in our family or a near or dear one, then that is a part of meeting and parting. So all these things, we meet someone and we get part from someone. These are the structures of life, and this is how we have to live the life. The great parting from which no one returns, and death is such kind of a parting from where no one comes back. So if we at that time, if we can live, then this is a thing that he will be able to live without Ratan at his native place too. But Ratan was no philosopher. Ratan was not that kind of a grown-up mind. She didn't have that kind of a grown-up mind. She was a little girl, and she didn't have such kind of a philosophical thought. She wondered about the post office in a flood of tears, and when she always used to just roam around the post office, and she was thinking about the postmaster and used to cry a lot. Perhaps she still had a lurking hope. In her mind, there was a small hope that in the corner of her heart, that postmaster will come back. Dada would return. Alas, the foolish human nature. This is human nature, that whatever things is being parted from human being, that the person will think that it will come back as soon as possible. It always false hope to lead it astray. Astray means away from correct direction. This is not the way to think about that the person is going to come back. And even after it awakens to the misery of reason, after the mental distress or distressing about the reason, it returns again and again to the same foolishness, and the same foolish thought comes into the mind of Ratan about that the postmaster is going to come back and he is going to take her with him. So, hope that you understood the chapter very well. Question and answers and reference to context answers are given in the link below. Please do copy in your classwork, copy, and don't write word meanings in your classwork, copy. This is what I just wanted to say to everyone, because there were some messages from students to write whether they have to write word meanings or not. So please don't write word meanings. Hope you understood the chapter very well. Thank you so much. Goodbye.